Hey everyone, welcome back to the Little Shop of Hoarders, the PDX Picker channel. I am Chris. Thanks so much for stopping by. Got a video today. I'm going to pull a couple of orders that have sold for me on eBay and Poshmark. Going to talk about some things that I found most recently, some of my favorite things I found at the thrift store. And we're going to talk about a strategy that I have implemented to try and turn around this horrible sales month. It's actually had some good results right off the bat. So stick around after the intro song, we'll get into all those topics.
Wanna buy that Farrah Fawcett poster? There's dispensers and a toaster. Don't know why. That kind of stuff you throw away. I'll sell on eBay.
What a whirlwind couple of days when it comes to YouTube. I think my last video I talked about it, touched on it already, so I'm not going to belabor the points much more. But we've had some nice views, really nice views on my YouTube channel. And I'm really happy about that. So things are going well with that at the very least. So I can check one thing off that is actually going well for me in the month of March. But hopefully with some little changes and tweaks that I'm implementing, the reselling side will also get better. One of the things that really has stood out for me, I talked about this in my last video and I actually had a comment from somebody that basically inadvertently, without even them realizing it, agreed with what I had talked about on Monday. I think the biggest issue, the reason why I'm not having a lot of sales right now is because my listings, my inventory is, especially the things that I'm listing most recently, it's just not that good. I talked about the difficulties, the struggles that sourcing at this time of the year has for me here in the Pacific Northwest. And, you know, when all of your new listings are going up and there's just not that great of items, I think the biggest issue for me is anytime I do find a decent item, I've had to pay up so much for it that I have to ask on the higher end of what that item might sell for. And that just really slows the sales process down. If I want to, for example, sell a pair of shoes that normally would sell for 40 bucks, but I have to buy it for 15, I don't really like to buy something for 15 and list it for 40, knowing that I'm probably going to get an offer for $30 to $35. So I might buy that for 15, list it for 50, and then it just sits in my inventory for longer and longer and longer. That's a strategy that I'm using. It doesn't mean that it's a great strategy, and it's something that I'm going to have to look at because, like I said, sales bad. Gotta change what I'm doing, right, if sales are bad. So with that in mind, I went ahead and went to the thrift store today on my lunch period, and I want to show you just some of the top things that I found. Actually, I've put a few things in here from the last time I went to the thrift store, which was last Friday, so we're talking 5-6 days ago. But I haven't listed all of those things yet, primarily because I was focusing on trying to list my storage unit death pile, which I'm really down on right now because it just doesn't fit into that strategy of trying to list good stuff. It's just a lot of junk in there. And then I decided to spend a lot of time listing my G.I. Joe vehicles, vintage 80s G.I. Joe vehicles and parts that I bought a year and a half ago, I think it was. So that was an interesting process. It wasn't as difficult as I thought. I'll show you the after effect. I have maybe 5 things listed so far, so I still have to list all of this stuff still. But I went through and I had all these big vehicles. That was obvious, but then all these little pieces, there were just piles and piles in the bottom of the bag. I had a big IKEA bag holding everything, and so I just had to go through and Google Lens it all and piece it together. And it was actually more fun and more successful than I thought it would be. So I spent $10 for all of this stuff, and then the few other pieces that I've already listed. I probably, best case scenario, I will have $150 worth of product in here. So it wasn't great. I'm not super excited with how it turned out, but it was a gamble, and it was a fun gamble, and I love 80s toys, so I will do it again. If I come across another pile like this, I'm gonna do it again. Anyway, that's one of my favorite time periods, is the 80s and 80s toys especially. So while it might not have made the most sense from a resale standpoint, it was kind of fun. All right, a couple of items that I sourced, and I think you should probably be on the lookout for too. I don't I think maybe twice I have ever bought any sort of DVD from my favorite thrift store, and I've gone there probably 50 plus times. So to find something there, I almost most of the time, frankly, I don't even look, but I decided to look this time because I was really hard up, and I found something really good. Right here is Barney Miller, the complete series. This is a TV show, I think from the 70s and early 80s, or just 1970s, I guess. And this is the complete series. I bought it for $4.99. It's a 25 DVD set. Pre-owned. I looked, made sure. I've learned now, make sure you go through all of these to ensure all the discs are there. They were, and I think that can sell for $30 to maybe $40. We also have another Bible. So I bought this for only $2.99. This is the New Analytical Indexed Edition Holy Bible. Not in spectacular condition. That's what happens with a lot of these older Bibles. They'll have this thin paper cover and put this velour, this fake leather over the top of it. And you can't set this on a shelf without it bending. I don't know who thought that was a good idea. Maybe it was before they thought people would ever put their Bibles on a shelf. But anyway, it's in good condition. It sells for probably $25 to $30. So again, as you know, I do love selling Bibles, and there's nothing about this that 100% guaranteed to me that this was going to be a valuable one. But it doesn't just say Bible and like such and such edition, like King James Version or New International Version. It said the New Analytical Indexed Edition. I said edition earlier, I meant version. If it doesn't say version on the title and it says edition instead, that made me want to look it up. I don't know. It's not a science. I just look up a lot that aren't worth anything, but I do find quite a few that are. This is another mistake that I made, although I don't know if it's going to be horrible. I saw this. This is a Dazzle DVD recorder. Bought it for $5.99. It converts VHS tapes you can record on and turn them into DVDs. This sells for like $25, $30, so for $5.99, that was great. But then, silly me, I just didn't even think to look to see if this was new or not, and it's not. It is used. I don't know if used sell as well as new, but I can guarantee they don't sell for as much. So this is probably only going to be worth $15, maybe $20, which I might not have bought. But yeah, don't be like me. Don't get fooled by just because something is in a box. Don't just always assume that it's new. I love to do that. It drives me nuts. I found a new in-box. The box is not great. But this is a First Alert Carbon Monoxide Alarm 2-pack. Paid $5.99. These sell for like $25 to $30. So this is insanely boring. When it comes to reselling, I don't think things can get much more boring than selling carbon monoxide alarms, right? But the thing is once I peel off this sticker, I'll take a picture of the front, a picture of the back. I'll just sell similar from an existing listing. And it'll take maybe 2 minutes to do that whole process. And then it'll hopefully sell within 2 months or so, and I'll get $15 profit off of it. So when it comes to excitement, there is none here, but this is the bread and butter stuff that keeps your store active and keeps the money rolling in. Same with this here. These are some HP. I say these because I have 2 of them. HP 61 ink. This is a black and a tricolor, new in the box, $2.99 each. I think if I lot those together, I can get maybe as much as $45 or $50 for them. So that is also extremely boring, but as many of you probably know, HP ink, one of the better things to resell. I was surprised though, normally on something like this, my thrift store is going to charge probably $10. Maybe even more than that just for one of these. A lot of the stuff that is really common from a reselling standpoint, they know about, and so they're going to price it up accordingly. If I ever come across a TI-84 or whatever graphing calculator at that thrift store, they're going to charge $30 for it. So I was kind of surprised that they only charged $2.99 for both of those. Kind of got this on a whim. Well, I definitely got it on a whim. It was up at the behind the counter. Price tag says $19.99 on it, but it was 25% off. So got it for $15. This is a Carhartt tall boot bag. It's like for throwing your boots in to keep your truck from getting dirty, or if you're traveling, things like that. It sells for about 35 bucks plus shipping. There are some that will sell lower, but I'm going to have to price this higher, of course, because I paid up for it. But again, new with tags, good brand, Carhartt. I just went ahead and pulled the trigger, even though the sell-through rate isn't spectacular. There's, it's maybe a 40% sell-through rate, but there's not a lot listed. I think there's only 12 listed and 4 have sold or something like that. I don't know, whatever the math is to get to basically 40%, because I remember that's what it was. The only downside is it's a little bit big. It's going to take up a little bit of space in my inventory. I paid up for this. I paid $10, and I don't know if it's going to sell ever. I don't know if it's going to, and if it does sell, I don't know if it's going to sell for more than $10. But I couldn't turn it down, because when I was in high school, which was 30 years ago, this is the exact kind of thing that if I was in a thrift store, I would have fallen over with excitement to have found. And I just got to think that maybe somebody is going to be like me to this day, including, I might end up giving this to my son Jonas, because I think he would like something like this. But this is a vintage, it says Hilton polyester, made in the USA. So it's a polyester shirt, button up. It's got this awesome Stan embroidery. So I think this might be a bowling shirt. I'm not positive, but it could. You know what? I don't think it's a bowling shirt. I think it's an old employee shirt, because on the back it says Stubby's HNS, which I don't know what HNS stands for. If I thought about it, something might come to mind. But these are like felt letters. They're adhered on really well. Everything looks pretty decent about this shirt. It's got this like pinstriping in it, and like I said, I would have absolutely killed to have found this and worn it in high school. I'm guessing this is from the late 70s, maybe early 80s, but not much later than that. And I just love it. I just love it. So that was super cool. If anybody happens to know, for some strange reason, what Stubby's HNS refers to, comment below. Let me know. That would be cool. But yeah, like I said, I couldn't leave that, especially for $10. That's also something that sometimes they will price these at like $25, which I would leave that behind if it was, frankly, if it was $15, I probably would have left it behind. But at $10, no way. Here's a bolo. I've talked about it one other time because I've come across this before one other time. I guess you could say, it sounds kind of harsh when I put it that way, but I love when whoever's pricing the items at the thrift store doesn't know what they have, and they underprice it. So this was $12.99, which is still higher than most thrift store prices, I think. But this is I'm going to pronounce it wrong, but Fjallraven is how I pronounce it. It's a Swedish brand of jacket in this case. I have sold a Fjallraven vest. So I sold a vest and it had like a big rip in it, and I still sold that for $50. So this is a very high-end brand. This is a women's large. So I'm going to guess that this is a $100 jacket. I haven't comped it, but it is in really good condition. Even better, if that comes through here, it has the model on here. So this is the Keb padded hoodie. I gotta look that up real quick. Yeah, it's interesting. So there are 6 pre-owned women's jackets listed, and 4 have sold in the last 90 days. I guess probably $80 to $100 would be safe, so not quite as good as I'd hoped. I think men's clothing seems to be priced higher. I don't know for sure. But anyway, not too bad. $13 into hopefully $80. and hopefully that'll sell before the end of the cold weather, but it's okay. It's not going to be a big deal to sit on that until next fall or winter. I'll show you this one just because it's funny to me. It has some value as well, but I did not know this was a thing. This was only, this was 75% off, so I got it for $5. This is an Under Armour Baywatch jacket, and it's based off of the Baywatch movie from 2017. I think there are 3 of these listed and 2 have sold or something like that. So, again, might not sell quickly, but I just thought that was funny. Did not know that there was an Under Armour Baywatch movie tie-in. But it's in good condition. It doesn't say Baywatch anywhere on the outside, so it's not like the person buying this is advertising that they are a giant Baywatch fan. So you can buy that without having fear of coming across as David Hasselhoff reincarnated. So these are a bit of an experiment, and I'm curious who else would have bought these. This is a very thrashed, very distressed pair of Carhartt cargo pants. I only paid $4. There is no real hugely visible. I mean, the tag, there is some writing on there, so I can definitely see what it says. It says B342 Moss. Okay, so the B342 Moss cargo pants is a really nice model. It's not double knee, or excuse me, it is double knee. It is double knee, and then I prefer to sell the non-cargo pant version. It is much more in style, I think. So these still have they do have over 100% sell-through rate, but I really don't think that I have the best chance of selling this on eBay. I think this is a much better Depop item because this style of thrashed or distressed pant is much more, at least it's my opinion, I could be wrong, I'm very old. It is usually much more popular with the younger crowd, so I might be able to get half as much on eBay as I would on Depop. So I'm going to probably list these for $40 plus shipping on Depop, which is pretty good for a pair that I bought for $4. I have these these items here that I'm going to show you, but before I go into that, let's pull some of the orders that have sold for me. It's been 2 days since my last order pull. I think I only have 4 items. So again, sales need to pick up. But this is a Poshmark sale. Bought these Brooks Launch 9 for $9.99, and took an offer and sold these for $34 plus shipping. So this is all about condition. They cleaned it up really nice. I think we're at a Launch 10, maybe even a Launch 11. So these are a little bit of an older model, but I think the colorway contributed to a little bit quicker sale. I just listed these on Poshmark maybe a week ago, so super fast sale on those. And I think that comes back to better inventory, better sales. I had no idea how much to price this. As far as I know, I might be the only one to have sold one of these on eBay in years. This is one of the last things left over from all that scientific equipment that I had in the radio and TV repair container. So this is this Vernier Logger Pro computer software. When I say I'm the only one that had this, I don't mean just the CD-ROM itself. That has been sold before, but I had the user's manual, which I haven't seen that available. So I saw, I'm going off of memory here, but I feel like I saw one of these sell for like $30 in the last 2 years or so. But the fact that I had the user's manual and then also this tutorials manual I thought, you know what, I think I have something that is going to be much more user-friendly and useful to a potential buyer. So I listed that for $49.99 plus shipping, and that's what I got for it. Again, I probably paid, I said I paid $1 for this, because that's about what it was. But that was, so far, the purchase of the year. I mean, I bought it last summer, but I sat on it forever, never. But we're probably at $220 of sales so far off of a $10 purchase, and I think that's like the 8th or 9th thing I've sold. So that was really nice. Okay, so I turned on my sale today, and I chose items from that were listed on eBay from 90 to 180 days. I chose that window because that's still going to be good inventory. It's not stuff that I've just listed, which I don't want to discount right away. Some of my older inventory that's longer than 180 days, I've already put on sale before, and obviously it hasn't sold yet. So I really wanted to try and key in on that 90 to 180 day time period, because I think there were some better items that if I just put them on sale, maybe they will sell quickly. And two of the items that I listed, or that I put on sale earlier today, have already sold. They were both shoes, or boots to be specific. Good brands as well. The first one that sold took a lot longer than I thought, but I guess they were just a little too high priced for somebody. Even though I had offers turned on, I never got any offers. But it's this pair of Red Wing boots. Paid $7.99 for them. They have the BOA cable on there. Tested that out, works good. They have some wear on the toes. These are really nice work boots. The soles are in pretty good condition. I think the particular model is the King Toe. So, forgot to tell you, those sold for $37.46. So they were listed for $50. 25% off is $37.46. And then last item of the day, and then we'll go into the last few things that I picked up at the thrift store. These I bought for $12.99, and I hesitated on whether to buy them because the sell-through rate wasn't spectacular. But it's this pair of Carolina boots, and these are like $300 boots new, and they are super heavy. So it's like hard for me to lift this high. You see they have this toe guard on there. I think that's like a Met guard is what it's called. And these are in good condition, other than clearly they have seen some action. That's why people wear these, because there's some cuts into the leather, but not through the leather on that Met guard. And those sold, somebody wanted to pay $75 including shipping, so those sold for $59.05 plus $15.95 shipping, and I paid $12.99 for those. So finally getting into some it's a much better average sales price. So we've got $59, $37, $50, and $34. That's the kind of average sale price that I want, not this $12, $15, $20 stuff that I've been dealing with for the vast majority of the month. I did have another return. This one is 100% my fault, and so that's the kind that I like, compared to the video that I released a week ago or so, where I was complaining about these buyer returns and things that were completely out of my control. Fortunately, this one was. I've learned a lesson. So I had sold these Fight electric outdoor lamps that you would attach to your house. FEIT electric is what it was, and sold them for $50, and I shipped them, and apparently the inside was not nearly as well protected as I thought it was, because when they arrived, the glass was cracked and broken in a few places, so I had to give a 100% refund on that right away. Did not expect the buyer, nor do I want the buyer to ship them back, but so that was an expensive lesson and yet another return, but I will take 100% ownership on that one. I should have packaged it better. I just made an assumption, and it was a bad one. So I'm okay with that. I'm 100% okay with that. I would 999 times out of 1,000, much rather have that situation where it is something that is my fault and under my control because I can fix it and address it for the next time. So at least that good news happened. Couple more interesting thrift store finds, including my favorite one of the day. So stick around for that. I had some good success selling these a similar pair of these weird Sauconys. That one was a limited edition. This one is not, but these are Saucony Shadow 6000. Picked these up. These were on sale at 75% off, so they were like $6.75, somewhere around that. Huge shoe. I think this is a size 14. I don't expect to sell this quickly, but for $6.75, and it is unique enough, I said I think that was definitely a good purchase because hopefully when I do sell it, it'll sell for around the $40 to $50 range. That would be my guess. Some of these are listed for crazy high amounts, like $125, I feel like. I could be wrong on that. I might be comparing this to another one. But anyway, primary reason is I bought it is I got it so quote-unquote inexpensive. I say quote-unquote because $6.75 for a pair of thrift store shoes is still kind of crazy. But this right here is neat. And I'm curious if anyone recognizes this just by this monkey right here. So this is a Paul Frank like backpack type thing, and condition on it is there's a little mark right there, but otherwise than that, it's pretty good. I think this came from maybe the late 90s or probably the late 90s. Right here you can see it says Paul Frank, and then that is Julius the monkey. He's a cartoonist and a fashion designer, and I picked this up for $5.99. It's not a home run or anything, but it's just cool. I think that's probably a $25, $30, $35 sale on that once that will go through. Sell-through rate on them is decent. But I just remember these from, girls, young women sporting these around the time I was in college. And so that was a nice blast from the past on that. Speaking of blast from the past, this is a, picked this up for $5, it was 50% off. This is a vintage Airway, I think they call these a train case. This is like a vanity train case. I did find it kind of ironic that it was a train case, but it's by a brand called Airway. But anyway, this is like a vanity, I think a toiletries kind of case. Comes with the key in here, which was really what sold me on it. That and the color. So the sell-through rate on these is not knock your socks off, but I don't think there were any other red ones that I saw listed or any that have sold. At least I don't think there were. And I think that red will really set it apart from a lot of the other more mundane colors. So the fact that it's got the key and it's red, I'm going to list this high for like $50-ish. And, it might sit for a while, but I think I'll get close to that in the long run. So it's really cool. It's just, I don't know when it's from. I would guess from the 60s. I liked this feature or this look in here. This label just not coming through at all. But anyway, it's just it screams vintage and 60s, and I was happy also to get it at 50% off. So that's cool. This is a bread and butter item, but definitely paid up for it. The reason I paid up for it is because I just want stuff to be moving in my store. So this is a Ninja Professional Blender. Paid $25 for this bad boy. But as many of you probably know, or hopefully know by now, but if you don't, this is best to part out. So you can sell the lid for probably $25 to $30. So that right there will make my money back. This you can try and sell, but rarely do these ever sell at all. The pitcher itself, you can sell that for $40. This pitcher is really nice. You always want to look for cracks in these because there's usually One of the reasons why people will donate these is because they've cracked the pitcher. But this one looks like, I don't know how well it's coming through, but it is not, there's no cracks in it. There's hardly any use on it at all. And then, so that can sell for $40, and then this can sell for about $20 to $25. So all told, we have about $90-ish worth of items. So even though I had to spend $25 for it, I was okay. I would, sometimes you can find these for $5, which of course that's a steal and a half. Also, the other thing you have to keep an eye out for on these lids, because I am a dodo head and have done this in the past, is sometimes this piece will break off. Sorry, I just really zoomed in there. So just make sure that that is in good condition as well. So $90-ish for that whole piece there. And then this is my second favorite purchase. I got this when I was there last week. This is a Jimmy Zombie, I think it is. And I think he works. Yeah, he works. So got him for $5.99. Obviously not the best time of year for it, but he's still sell year round. And hopefully we'll get about $30 to maybe $35 for this guy. He's supposed to be motion activated, so probably just needs some new batteries to really get it working. Wow. Yeah, he's definitely working well now. So let me turn him off. Wow. Okay. Maybe I might have a nightmare or 3. All right, that was my second favorite item. My favorite item that I found today is actually not something I'm going to even resell because I'm going to keep it. It's this bad boy right here. This is a magnifying glass with a light on it. There are so many little labels and years on toys and things that I cannot read for the life of me, and I rarely have my reading glasses handy. So I'm going to keep this out in the shop to have available so that I can read some of those tiny little labels and model numbers and things. I was very, very excited about that. I've been telling myself that as soon as I saw just even an old school, handheld magnifying glass at like an estate sale or something, I was going to buy that. But the fact that this one was lit sealed the deal for me. So the joys of getting old, add that to the list. Not being able to read anything tiny. Well, thanks to my PDX Posse members, thanks to all of my new subscribers, all of the people that took the time to put my old videos on just to get my watch hours up. Thank you to everyone who took the time to comment positively or negatively on any of my most recent videos. It's been, like I said, quite a whirlwind past couple of days, and it's been all good, all positive, and all extremely, extremely appreciated from my end. So thank you so much. Thank you to the PDX Posse member, HarleyGal143, and good luck if you are a reseller out there. Good luck with your reselling ventures. Good luck if you are not a reseller and you just want to kill it in life. Please like this video if you did, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel to get some more content like this in the future. We will catch you out there on the next video. Take care.